Okay, I am back with part two because apparently I have a lot to say on this topic. And if you thought I was peeking in your house before, ooh, this one's really going to freak you out because these next three beliefs, these are the ones that have you nodding your head so hard you risk spilling your coffee. And we definitely don't want that. So buckle up because we're about to get real. Hey there, my name's Tracy Lynn, and I help midlife women and men learn how to right size their homes so they fit the lives they're living right now. And in today's video, we are going to continue where we left off, finishing up on our list of six beliefs, or technically, I think there's six lies that are keeping us stuck in homes with too much stuff. And if you missed part one, no worries. I'm going to link to that video down in the comments below because those first three, they were sort of the practical beliefs. And these next three, oh, yes, these are the ones that make you stop and stare into space for like a hot minute. Just know that if you do that, you're definitely not alone. Okay, now that we're all on the same page, let's start with belief number 4, but it still works. Ooh, this one's super common, right? Because I think we were all raised that way. If it still works, you better keep it because you paid good money for it. But the downside is, if you keep it and it keeps us hanging on to something for years, it tends to take up space longer than it should. Because apparently, if an item still functions, we think it automatically deserves a permanent residence in our home. And listen, I was raised the same way, so I did the same thing. And if you need a Tracy Lynn example, oh boy, do I've got one for you. Okay, so years ago, I spent a small fortune on one of those robot vacuums, and I was so excited to have it because it promised to make my life easier, right? But after using it for a while, I realized something. I hated that thing. Seriously, it took me longer to block off those no vacuum zones than it would have taken me to just clean the floor myself. Because if you don't know, robot vacuums, they're like, I don't know, temperamental toddlers, right? They suck up cords, they suck up shoelaces, they get trapped under chairs and couches, and they somehow manage to suck up that one corner of the throw rug I forgot to pick up. And every single time I heard the beeping help me sound from another room, I swear my blood pressure would go up immediately. I kid you not. But the crazy thing was, I kept that vacuum anyhow. Why? Well, because it still worked and I paid a lot of money for it. Meanwhile, the thing was actually making my life more annoying instead of easier. And I know it sounds funny when I tell these stories, but here's the thing. I think a lot of us do this. We keep the kitchen gadget that's a nightmare to clean. Hello, George Foreman grill. I have no idea why when he made that grill, he didn't think of an easier way to clean it. Or we keep the shirt that technically fits, even though it rolls up over our stomach every time we sit down. And don't even get me started on the spin brush cleaner I had to have that was supposed to make it easier to clean my tub when a magic eraser, yeah, that's hard to say, actually does a better job in half the time. Why do we keep it? Because we think, well, it still works. I should probably keep it. But here's the thing. Something can be perfectly good and still not be good for you anymore. And that's seriously okay. All right. I think we need a right-sized living flip. Just because something still functions does not mean you are forced to keep it until it breaks or wears out. Because if an item consistently makes your life harder, more frustrating, or more stressful, it may be time to let it go and make room for something that actually fits your life now. So find the thing that's been quietly haunting you and put it in the donation box. It's okay. I promise it will feel better when it's finally gone, working or not. Okay, on to belief number 5. But this represents who I used to be. Oh, yes. I think more of us do this belief than any other one on the list. Because sometimes the hardest things to let go of are not the expensive things. They're the things connected to our lives before, right? Those days long ago when we lived a different way. And you guessed it, this one's also me. Let me tell you about my pink camo barn boots. Not only were they pink, they were hot pink. Thank you very much. Okay, so back when we had our homestead, I wore those things constantly. I loved those boots. They were warm, they kept my feet dry, and did I mention they were pink? Those boots were a part of my everyday life all year long, even in 80-degree weather. If I had to clean out a barn stall, I was wearing those boots. But here's the problem. That life changed years ago when I retired from homesteading. But those boots, well, funny thing. Not only did I hold on to them, I brought them with me to my empty nester home, where they've basically become spider housing in my basement. Because apparently, every bug in Pennsylvania decided, oh, good, that's just where we want to live. And every time I saw those boots, I never thought, yeah, it's time to get rid of those. No, my brain immediately went to better keep those because you just never know. But the truth is, I was not keeping those boots because I needed the boots. I was keeping them because they represented a version of my life I had a hard time fully letting go of. And I think many of us might be doing that as well. We keep the roasters and the crock pots for the giant family gatherings we don't host anymore. Or we keep those almost finished crafting projects that we were definitely going to finish, but are still sitting there undone, right? And then there's the clothes. Oh my gosh, the clothes. The clothes hanging in the back of the closet that are 3 sizes smaller, even though we haven't seen that weight in a decade. Wait, is that one just me? I hope not. But okay, let's move on to the right size living flip. No more examples on this one because I could keep going. Instead of keeping every single thing connected to the past, choose the favorites that truly mean the most to you and just let the rest go. Because when we try to keep all the memories, they start blending together in boxes and bins that never get looked into anymore. And honestly, I think a few meaningful things we truly enjoy seeing and using is way more powerful than a basement full of boots filled with cobwebs. Yep, that last one's definitely me. Okay, let's move on to our last belief number 6. Getting rid of it means I made a mistake. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one right here, I think I've turned this one into an Olympic sport. Oh, yes, I can defend my purchases like a lawyer in a courtroom, even the ridiculous ones. Because the truth is, Instagram is really dangerous for me. All it takes is a 30-second reel called 5 Kitchen Gadgets I Cannot Live Without. And suddenly, I'm fully convinced I cannot live another day without that $200 ice cream maker. Even though I literally live a few blocks away from the best ice cream shop in town. Oh, and then the gadget arrives. And I use it once, maybe twice. And after that, it gets shoved into a cabinet where it sits beside 17 other life-changing purchases. And if you're sitting there nodding your head right now, oh, trust me, I see you. Because getting rid of those things can feel weirdly uncomfortable, like you're admitting, yeah, that probably wasn't my best idea. Nobody likes feeling foolish, right? Or like they wasted money or got suckered into something that they absolutely did not need. But here's what I finally realized. Keeping the item does not undo the mistake. It just fills our home with guilty reminders of, oh my gosh, why did you buy that? Like my exercise bike that I absolutely had to have that I used for like maybe 2 months before it became a very expensive clothing rack. And I think this is something a lot of us do. Sometimes we're not keeping the item because we love it. We're keeping it because letting go of it feels uncomfortable. Because once we let it go, we have to admit, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best purchase I ever made. So let's bring in the right size living flip. You do not have to keep something forever just to prove it was justified. Because a bad purchase does not deserve lifetime storage in your home, right? So instead, start looking for things you were so excited to use, but never really ended up using at all. Things like the gadgets you never used, the hobbies that weren't what you thought they were going to be, or the purchases that still make you feel guilty every time you see them. Then out of those, just choose one. Pull it out of the cabinet, put it in the donation box, and get it gone. And let that be one more step toward creating a home that fits your life a whole lot better. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope this 2-part series gave you a few ideas that help make decisions feel a whole lot easier. Because at the end of the day, that's really the goal, right? To let things go without beating ourselves up over the memory, the money, or the emotion that's attached to them. Because starting today, right now, you have permission to stop looking backward at the life you used to live and start creating a home that fits the life you're living right now. All right, now, before you scoot, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because that really does help my channel grow. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Why haven't you done so already? Just kidding. Because that way you know when a new video drops and you don't miss it. They go live every Friday morning. And one more thing before you go, there's a free resource down in the comments below. Make sure you grab that. And if you didn't see part 1 to this video, that link will be down there too. All right. Honestly, that's the end of this one. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.